Hello and welcome to TD's Pokemon Lair. I'm TD and this is the Lair. Today we're unboxing a box of 10 Pokemon cards I sent to PSA. Got them back in this box professionally packaged to be safe and sound. Let me get them out of here and see what grades we got. Alright, let's go. This card is a 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Sabrina's Gastly, a first edition, the number 96 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, it's very clean. There's no scratches, creases, bends, or any other problems on the surface of the card. Looking at our setting from left to right, I think those are really close to the tolerance, and so I believe the top to bottom tolerance is slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, they are very clean and free of any damage. As we look to the back of the card, we'll start with the surface. It is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or any other damage to the graphics or surface of this card. Looking at our centering from left to right, it's slightly towards the left. Centering from top to bottom, I think it's slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think there's some slight specks of damage down on those lower two corners. And that's it. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 8. That one I think could have been a little better. Check out this 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Sabrina's Porygon, a first edition, the number 98 card. Looking at the front of this card, the graphics are bright. The surface is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or any dirt. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think it's slightly towards the left a little bit, and centering from top to bottom looks slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, I do not see any damage there at all. As we take a gander at the back of the card, you can see that our surface is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or dirt. Graphics look nice. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think those are close to the tolerance. Centering from top to bottom, I think it's slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and edges for damage, the two lower corners have some slight damage. And that's going to get us a grade of mint 9. That's not too shabby. We are looking at a 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Sabrina's Psyduck, a first edition, the number 99 card. Looking at the front of this card, it's very clean. There's no scratches, creases, bends, or any dirt to affect the surface. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think that's within the tolerances. Looking for centering from top to bottom, I think it's slightly towards the bottom. And looking at our corners and our edges, I do not see any damage that would affect a grade. Let's look at the back of the card, and we'll start with the surface. There's no creases, bends, scratches, or dirt that will affect the graphics. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think those are within the tolerance. Centering from top to bottom, I think is slightly towards the bottom. Looking at our corners and our edges, the two right corners have some slight damage. And they're going to give us a grade of near mint 8. Wow, I think that could have been a little better. You're looking at a 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Chaos Gym Trainer card, a first edition, the number 102 card of the set. The trainer card looks very clean. There's no problems with the graphics. The surface is free of any creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from left to right, I think, is slightly towards the left. Our centering from top to bottom looks slightly towards the top, but probably within the spec. Looking at our corners and our edges, I do not see any damage. Let's look at the back of the card, and we'll start with the centering from top to bottom. Looks slightly towards the top. Centering from left to right might be slightly towards the left. Looking at our surface, it is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or any other problems, just like the front. And looking at our corners and edges, the two lower corners have some specks or slight damage. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9. I'll take it. It's a pretty good grade. This card is a 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Cinnabar City Gym Trainer, a first edition, the number 113th card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, the graphics are nice. The surface is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or any dirt. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think it might be within the tolerance, but maybe to the right a little. Our centering from top to bottom looks within the tolerance. Our corners and our edges are free of any damage. I don't see any problems there. The back of the card surface is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or dirt. Graphics look nice. Looking at our centering from left to right, it's slightly towards the left. Centering top to bottom might be slightly towards the bottom, but I think it's within the tolerance. Looking at our corners and our edges, there might be a speck of damage on both upper corners. And the grade's going to be a near mint 8. Wow, I think that one's low. Really, I do. Let's look at this 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Sabrina's Side Control, a trainer card, a first edition, the number 121st card of the set. The front graphics are clean. There's no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Looking at our centering from left to right and top to bottom, I think those are all within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think they are free of any damage. Taking a look at the back of the card, you can see that our surface is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or any other problems with the graphics. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think those are all within the tolerance or really close. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think the two upper corners and maybe the lower right corner have specks of damage on them. And we'll receive a grade of Mint 9. That's pretty darn good. Check out this 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Transparent Walls, a trainer card, the first edition, number 125th card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, I love the graphics on this one. That looks really nice. Looking at our surface, there's free of any creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from left to right looks pretty close to the tolerance or within, and our centering from top to bottom I think is the same. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think they are free of any damage. Taking a look at the back of the card, our surface has no creases, bends, scratches, or any other problems with the graphics. Looking at our centering from top to bottom and left to right, looks a little towards the top and a little towards the left to me. And looking at our corners and our edges, I think they are free of any damage. And that will give us a grade of Gym Mint 10. That one surprises me. With the centering off on the back, I thought I would get a 9. You are looking at a 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Fire Energy, a first edition, the number 128th card of this set. This card is very clean. The graphics are vibrant. There's no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within the tolerance. Our corners and edges are very crisp and clean and free of damage. The back of the card looks as good as the front of the card. Our centering from top to bottom, left to right, I think is all within the tolerances. I do not see any damage on our corners or edges. And our surface, there is no scratches, creases, or bends. This should be a very good energy card. And we're going to get a grade of Gym Mint 10. I knew it. That was a really good card. We are looking at a 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Lightning Energy, a first edition, the number 130th card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, you can see it's very clean. Our graphics are bright. There's no creases, scratches, or bends. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within the tolerances. Our corners and our edges are free of any damage that I can see. The back of the card looks really nice. I don't see any scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within the tolerances. And finally, looking at our corners and our edges, the lower left corner has some slight damage. And that's going to get us a grade of Mint 9. I think that's appropriate, and I like it. Let's look at this 2000 Pokemon Gym Challenge Water Energy, a first edition, the number 132 card of the set. Looking at the front graphics, they're very clean. There's no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is within the tolerances on all four sides. Looking at our corners and our edges, I do not see any damage there at all. The back of the card is very clean. The graphics are nice. There's no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Our centering from left to right, I think, is slightly towards the right, and our centering from top to bottom looks within the tolerance. Looking at our corners and our edges, the upper right corner has some very slight damage. And that's going to get us a good grade of Mint 9. I think I like it. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and the cards that were presented. Please like and subscribe, and always remember, you got to catch them all. Have an awesome day, people.